I've told this story before, and I will put a link in the description for one time where I talked about this story, and I told it much better than what I will do in the next minute or so. But I remember going to a haunted house, and I was allegedly banned from all haunted houses for a period of 10 years. I know, you're asking me like, what the hell did you do? You banned from haunted house for 10 years. And there's 2 stories I tell. The links will be in the description for you to watch and see what the hell I did. And this is the second story in particular. But I used chaos. The chaos created an opportunity for me. And I used that opportunity to escape a situation that would have had dire consequences for me. And this particular episode of Arcane was heart-wrenching, but an opportunity was created and sacrifice was made in a moment of chaos. Hello, Governor. This is Rakai Steed, Noob from the Ville, and here to talk about the end of the second arc of Season 2, Episode 6, The Message Hidden Within the Pattern. It's hard to put into actual words how monumentally moving this series has been as a whole so far. The first season was outstanding. What we have witnessed the second season has been nothing short of breathtaking so far. After Salo was killed at the end of the last episode, Viktor, in kind of an astral form, is investigating a phenomenon, like it's like the hex tech or the runes or something in astral space. But he's not alone. It looks like Sky is with him, which I later kind of understand that the Hexcore itself with the wild runes or whatever is going on with that thing, part of the Arcane, has taken the form of Sky because they knew that Viktor was in love with Sky, had a thing for Sky, so they've taken the form of Sky to influence Viktor. At this point, Jinx and Vi take Vander to Viktor's camp in order to heal him, and Viktor starts using the power that he has to pull out the humanity in Vander. But it is taking everything out of him. Like, he is exerting a lot of power trying to calm the beast and pull the human back out, because within Vander is that flawless, exquisite chaos. Vander's in there, but he's deep and he's trapped. Singed has created a device to track Vander, and he leads Ambessa and Caitlyn to the camp where Viktor is. They have brought a cage to house Warwick Vander, but Singed says, you know what, I think he's a former pupil of mine, let me go in and talk to him. And he goes in and talks to Viktor, and he's amazed with what Viktor has done, with what Viktor's become. But he still wants Vander, Warwick, because his goal is not so much to have the beast that Ambessa wants. He wants to study his blood. How did the beast manage to quell the beast and bring the human back out when he saw Vi and Jinx, which he saw when he was at Stillwater Prison when Vander recognized Jinx when she, let all the prisoners out. He wants that so that he can save his daughter. Now Viktor, when he touched Singed, he knows that. And he knows that Singed, even though it's worthy, it's a noble cause to save your daughter, it's also very self-serving. Singed would kill everyone around him if it meant saving his daughter. And he doesn't really have any any favor for anyone else. He tells Singed, I will not sacrifice his humanity for your cause. And Singed tells him, you know, if we take the beast by force, if something happens to you, because he also finds out that Viktor's power is waning. The more he's used it to heal people and create this utopia that he's created, his power is decreasing exponentially. He said, what do you think is going to happen to your little paradise, to your little utopia, if something happens to you? It's another one of those foreshadowing things. When Singed leaves, he's on his way back to the Noxian camp, and Vi follows him. She gets taken out by Caitlyn, and I mean like subdued. Caitlyn drops in on her and kind of pushes her down and gets the best of her. She was on some kind of patrol. She was guarding the perimeter. They have a talk. It's not a bad talk. It's not a good talk. It's not a bad talk. Next thing we know, Caitlyn brings Vi in as a prisoner, takes her directly to Ambessa. Ambessa does a little head nod and Rictus leaves. She leaves Vi in there with Ambessa. We find out that Caitlyn and Ambessa came up with a plan in order to thwart Ambessa and Singed plans. And Vi able to get out of her handcuffs and best Ambessa. She used like an electric net kind of thing that shocks and renders Ambessa unconscious. Vi escapes, and Caitlyn has done her best to do what she does and pacify all the other guards in the camp. Jinx is waiting on Singed, and Singed comes to basically take blood and take Vander. Jinx is waiting on him, and she takes Singed down. However, the wild card to this whole thing is Jayce being half-ass crazy after he killed Sallow, has infiltrated the camp. Now remember, they made Jinx and Vi leave their weapons outside. And it just so happens that Jinx used Isha to sneak to the front to go get her Hextech gun. But Vi doesn't have any weapons. And you're not supposed to have weapons in the camp. And Jayce has snuck in with his hammer. Fully, his little Hextech orb is lodged in his wrist. So he still has the Hextech in him, but he's got crazy all over him. And even the hammer has the wild runes on it now. Jayce sneaks up or goes into Viktor's sanctuary, into his tent, and has a very short conversation with Jayce, but he is hell-bent on destroying, getting rid of the Hexcore, the Hextech. And he opens up the power blast in his hammer, and he executes Viktor. There's no other way to say it. He murders Viktor. Now, Viktor's death has a ripple effect. All the people that Viktor healed are attached to him through the runes, through the Hextech in some kind of way. And there is a overload of the system. It's almost like a hive mind, which that can't be good, that everyone's attached to Viktor in that way. Like even when he took over Sallow's body, that doesn't seem like the kind of thing, like you may forgive that. It's like, he healed my legs, I can walk again. But not everything good, just because it looks good doesn't mean it is good. Anyway, when Jayce kills Sallow, all of those people seemingly die? I'm not sure yet, but they all fall out. They're either unconscious or they're dead. But that also has the same effect on Warwick, on Vander, and all of the work that Viktor had been doing for several days trying to pull the human back out of Warwick and calm the beast. With Viktor's death, this caused an overload of the beast. And now the beast's mouth is like dripping lava and instead of saliva, and the beast is the most dangerous that it has ever been. And there's even a point where Vander is coming out and you see the last vestiges of Vander shrink away, and he kind of looks at Jinx like, get the hell out of here, run. It's actually very sad. So Vander emerges from the tent where he was, and the first thing he does is jumps on Rictus. Rictus he was trying to kill Jinx before, but now when Vander jumps on him, he eviscerates Rictus, kills him. And if you saw Rictus get down earlier, Rictus was a huge ass dude and probably nobody had nothing for him but maybe Ambessa. But he's Ambessa's right hand. He was her dude. Ambessa had gotten herself conscious again and she got free, and she sees the crumpled mess that is Rictus's body. And she loses it and orders all of her troops to attack. Now at this point, Warwick, Vander, is ripping through everybody, and he's so bloodlust, is so crazed at this point. He even strikes Jinx and damn near incapacitates her. She's a crumpled mess. And at this moment, Isha sees an opening. Through all the chaos that is happening, she grabs Jinx's gun, she grabs the little Hextech core, she overloads the gun, and being so small, she slides in through all the chaos and fighting and everything that's going on. Jinx sees what she's doing, she knows what she's doing, and Jinx loses it, and she wants to go get her. And Vi grabs her, is like, no, there's nothing you can do. Little Isha overloads the Hextech gun, slides right under Warwick, Vander, and just as he's about to strike her dead, she lets the gun go like right in his mouth and over his head, and there's a huge explosion. Fade to black. It looks like that she sacrificed herself in the chaos to end this skirmish. Now, I'm not saying that eyes will sweat and that for some reason in the room that you were in, someone just started cutting onions. It could happen. You know that I love my quotes, and I have 3 quotes, and I'm gonna make this quick because this particular episode affected me on an emotional level. Isha's sacrifice, I don't like it at all. I do love it. Storytelling wise, it is magnificent, and it hit me right in the feels. It's like, like a gut punch. Ooh. I don't like it. 3 quotes. First one from Zara Bass. If you have to sacrifice your voice to keep the peace, it's no longer peaceful. You're internalizing the chaos instead. We'll come back to that. Next one's from Jordan B. Peterson, and it's the word that produces order from chaos sacrifices everything, even itself. And the last one is from Albert Camus, and he says, in the midst of chaos, I found there was within me an incredible calm. I'm going to start with that one because that was Isha In the middle of that calm, in the middle of that chaos, she saw Jinx in trouble, and it was like second nature. She saw what she had to do and did not think twice. At that younger age, she did not think twice about sacrificing herself. And of course, the hope is that everybody wants to make it through, and they are hopeful that your actions are gonna prove to do something worthwhile while you still are able to make it out somehow. But the reality was that she was fully prepared to sacrifice herself to save someone that she loved in Jinx. And I'm gonna go back to that first quote from Zara Bass. If you have to sacrifice your voice to keep the peace, it's no longer peaceful. You're just internalizing the chaos. And a lot of times we find ourselves at that very crossroad. At work, in relationships. You don't say what you should have said, what you could have said, because you're trying to keep the peace. You're trying to not make them angry. But that's when chaos rules your life. I had a situation where that happened to me at work, even at home with my wife at the time. I was not saying what needed to be said. We were not having meaningful, uncomfortable conversations, and it led to me becoming physically ill. I internalized all of the chaos. And for me, I'm a peaceful, very laid back type of person. I'm a California cat through and through. I don't deal with that type of shit very well, because I feel it doesn't have any place in my life. And what I found out the hard way was when I internalized all that chaos, it still found a way to manifest in my life, and I became deeply, clinically depressed. I had no idea. I'd never been depressed before, not that I recognized it, but it manifested in ways that I was unfamiliar with. So it went unchecked and undealt with for a long time, to where it caused further problems because it was unchecked. Some people can thrive in chaos, can thrive in high pressure situations. I found that I could thrive in high pressure situations, but mostly because I had a history of procrastination. So I learned to become proficient because I was tardy on doing what I was supposed to do. But that's different than chaos. It's almost organized chaos. I knew it was coming. Chaos is a vortex. It's a tornado, a whirlwind of emotions and things going on with you that you don't understand and can't place. Procrastinating is different. I know the deadline, I know the task. I just waited too long to do it. But when you have chaos swirling within you, even to this day, I still deal with depression. I get depressed on some days. I have no idea why. It's just, I don't know, as I get more vintage, maybe my T count is off, or some shit, I'm not eating the right foods, or something I ate, increased my serotonin levels, or some scientific blah, blah, blah. I don't know. But what I do know is that I'm not operating at max capacity. I'm not being the best me, not giving my kids the best me. It is affecting my life. And that's a current struggle I deal with on a daily basis. Some days are good, some days are absolute shit. What I'm saying to you is, if you can find an opportunity to celebrate the small wins, find an opportunity to win. And sometimes you have to make a sacrifice. And I'm not talking about sacrificing your life. No, I'm not talking about that. But sometimes you have to sacrifice your pride. Sometimes you got to get off your high horse and do what's best for you. Do what's best for your family. Do what's best for you to move ahead. Do what's best for your mental health. I have several people in my life that are in such desperate need of mental health, and they say, I don't believe in that. So you like being this screwed up. I mean, one of them things got to give. You can't complain that things are not working out for you when you will not seek a mental health professional to help you work this shit out. This episode was flawless, exquisite chaos. And I felt like I did start to recognize the message hidden within the pattern. Fix your shit. Stop dealing in chaos. Find some peace. This is Rakai Steed, new from the Ville. Make sure that you like, comment. Leave me some comments. I really do read them. I really do respond. What about the chaos swirling in your life right now? What are you going to do to quell it? Share this video as much as possible. And if you have not subscribed yet, click the button and subscribe. You'll get notifications. You can hit the notification bell to let you know when I drop other pieces. But you'll have a direct link to me to catch my other videos, and go back and watch some of the older videos. Something might resonate with you. It's got to be about this. But even more than that, it's got to be about this right here.